I've always felt foreign, if I'm being candid. So aware growing up that my eyes were slanted, kids flipping me off, and I didn't understand it. The old me used to let the hatred slide, but now I'm filled with Asian pride. I'm so sick of holding the pain inside. These were daughters, wives, mothers, and sisters. The American dream turned into a nightmare. I'm losing sleep, getting white hairs. Is my grandpa gonna get assaulted right there?
The number of attacks against the Asian community has skyrocketed. Some parents worry sending their children off to school alone puts them at risk of harassment.
The killings come at a time when violence against Asian Americans is growing, thanks in part to racist tropes surrounding the coronavirus.
So in the height of COVID with the anti-Asian racism, I already wrote this poem that never saw the light of day. So I thought, oh, that exists. I'm like, maybe I should rework it. I should absolutely rework it. I needed to connect with my people. I needed to just talk to the world. As dramatic as that sounds, but how necessary was it, right? And the response was so incredible. A lot of people saying I took the words right out of their mouth, they didn't know how to express their feelings, but I nailed it, things like that. And of course, allies from left and right just showing their support, which was so beautiful. Her reaction is already kind of like a sliver of the immigrant perspective of the stereotype that society has put Asian women in, right? Let's just not rock the boat. Let's sweep it under the rug. Let's let it go. Stuff happens. What can we do about it? We're helpless. And I'm like, Mom, no, that is not the way we should think anymore. Racism against the Asian community is historical, right, in this country, down to, the Chinese Exclusion Act. You know what I mean? I can name all these things that, to be honest, we didn't learn much about in history books, right? I can't help but shed tears on tears. For years, my ancestors proved that we belong here. 2021, we're still living with these strong fears. As much as I'm outspoken now, that was never the case. I'm more comfortable in my Asianness now more than ever. There were times when I was an immigrant and my parents had an accent. There was shame, right? Because of how America saw us. Let's tell these stories and change the narrative for those who don't understand the Asian experience. We need to put these stories on the screen. The way that we've been portrayed on the screen as the punchline, the supporting character, the stereotype, that does not help the way the country has viewed us. Being on a show like Good Trouble has really influenced me to speak up and speak out. That's literally our slogan for season 3. Because we have a big Black Lives Matter storyline. We talk about the pay gap, trans rights. Everything under the sun. Our show is called Good Trouble because it's based on the words of the late, great John Lewis, So I definitely am not the same person I was before Good Trouble. We're embracing every corner of our people, right? South Asians, Pacific Islanders, Asian, East Asian, Southeast Asian. We are one and we are a force. I truly do feel like there's hope, and as long as we keep fighting, we can be a part of the change. Let's have each other's backs and put this hate to an end.